Coming up on today's episode, good Saturday afternoon to you all YouTube. It is 2:40 now in the PM at the bench here. I've been working on the power supply, as you can see, I think. First thing I wanted to show you is this transformer has been basically rotated 90 degrees and it is now sitting as far over this way as it can go and as far back as it can go. I was just so much out of room that I had to create some room, and that's the way I did it. Now a lot of this has been wired up. You can see there's my limit switch or my thermal switch. The actual clamp that will be holding that, not that one, is in the mail to be delivered today, and I was kind of looking out the window while I'm sitting here to make sure I don't miss him going by. But like I said, this one I got coming forward is a binder clamp or clip, whatever you want to call it, 1/2 inch wide, and it will go there. And like I said, I think those little chrome springy things come off of those, and I'll probably just take that off once I get it in position. But I think that's how it's going to be mounted. It is wired up, and I will probably end up doing some kind of wrap on the wire to keep it out of the way of everything. The power from the secondary of the transformer here has been wired into the power input for the power supply board, and that's hooked up. The circuit breaker has been redone. As you can see, I took that and extended this wire a little bit and basically got it to where it's sitting. Now this is going to be a little tight here, but put that down. You can see that's up against it pretty foul, and that's back good ways back from where it will sit. It will actually be out here. So if you look at that, that's plenty of room. And I may go ahead and put a piece of fish paper in between there on top of the transformer just to keep it in case anything did happen. But I think that would hit the wire probably before we do anything else. And I think it'll be just fine. But like I said, I'll probably do that for safety's sake just in case. So no big deal there one way or the other. The other thing I've done is I have moved the LED out and got that basically I made 2 individual shrink tubes on the windings there where I connected the wire to the LED, and then I put one big piece over the top of it, and that is going to be mounted into here. Stick it in there, you can see it like that, and that's where it will go. So that's pretty good. Now I may have a problem with it staying in there. As of right now, it feels pretty solid. I mean, it would stay there. I don't think it'd be a problem. But if anything else, I can always take some hot glue and put on the back of that to hold it in there. Not a big deal. Also, you can see I do have my switch in. I have it ready to be wired up. There's the input for the switch coming from the cord, power cord, and these two going out. One will go to the primary of the transformer, and the other one will go to this box. Now this box, yes, it is a plastic printed box that I made, and it is a specialty box. So you can see 2 pink wires coming out this side. One of them is got a female spade, which will hook up to here, and the other spade female is the one here going to the primary of the transformer, so that when you switch it on, it will switch on the transformer and it will switch on this box. Now the other end of this box has 2 wires coming out of it, smaller wires, and these are the meter power. And what's inside here is basically a wall wart that has been reduced in size because I took it out of its housing, its plastic housing that used to plug into the wall, and made it smaller. Now these used to be on my bench for the, I believe it was these, yeah, that's what these were. For the, I know I'm pointing over there and you're not seeing it. For the AC panel here, I used to have them up on top of the thing that holds the camera boom there. It used to be there and it used to run over there, and then I used these when I did the new bench, the new wall warts there. And so I didn't really have a use for these anymore, except for, you know, I thought, well, somewhere down the road, I'll have something that needs a, you know, a little wall wart or something. And, oh, that's FedEx going by there in a hurry. So this is what I came up with. Let me take this top off if I can real easily. It is tight on there, and it won't come off that easily, so I think it's going to be just fine. But you can see there is the one, it's marked amp, and that was the one I had for the amp meter. And yeah, I've got another one over here, it's got volt on it. That was what I had for the voltmeter. So basically there's the inputs for the AC, and you can see the other wires coming out. They're attached to the bottom, and they come out there. So that's what I've got for that. Oops, I hit the camera. But like I said, it's good and tight. But that will go down here. That was the thing I was having problems finding. I've got a hole there, and you can see I've made a very small L bracket there to hold that in there. That's all it takes, just something to hold it right in position. And once that's done there, it'll, like I say, it will stay down there and be out of the way and be useful, mainly. So there's a quick look at, you know, how far I've come with this power supply, and I think I'm doing pretty good. Next thing I want to do, or some of the next things I want to do, is basically get these potentiometers soldered to the wires where they can be plugged in and put on anytime I need to, and continue the wiring. The output over here is where it comes out and goes to the output on the front panel here, the plus and minus. And so that's where they will go. And then the meter also will be wired in. And like I said, this is the power for the meter here. And so everything's coming together. I'm kind of liking the way it's working. And so that's a quick look at, like I said, at what it's going to be like. Some other things I need to wire up too. And I can't remember. Oh, well, the power coming in. I think what I'm going to do is take this back panel and maybe put a hole here, a slot here, to where it will allow it to come in. I think there's enough room there to do that, and maybe even make it come all the way over here and leave that open between it. I don't know. We'll see. But I want to make sure that there's a screw here and something, you know, nearby where it won't. The other option is to take it up here and do that, and then I'd have to put another screw there probably. But anyway, whatever I do, I want to make sure that it's in there good and tight, and even if there's a wire going through it. I probably shouldn't have made these quite that long, but they have been made now, and I'm not going to worry about it. I'll fix it, and you know how that works. So, like I say, everything's been working out pretty darn good, I think. I'm going to take this out of this hole here so I can move that out of the way, because I'm not done wiring yet. But like I say, next thing I want to do probably is work on the potentiometer wires, get them attached to the connectors to where they're ready to plug in and go. I've just been taking these things one thing at a time. And like I said, I decided to go ahead and do circuit breaker and get the switch all ready to wire up. And so there goes FedEx the other way now. So once I get all this done, like I say, I'm going to go ahead and probably, I think this potentiometer has to be, trimmer potentiometer has to be adjusted a little bit, and I've got to check with Bob on how to do that. I've got the directions too. I guess I could read those as well. But like I say, that's got to be done, and I want to get everything ready to go and get this all hooked up to where the fan will come out and it's proper temperature. I think this is a 75 degree C switch, and I believe that's what I bought, and so that should do it, I think. Now there was some confusion on the how the switch worked, but Bob said first he said you had to take the plastic off and basically paste that to the heatsink, but then later on he came back and told me he used a clamp and left the plastic on. So I think that's what we're going to do, just exactly what he says. So that's good. Everything's hunky-dory there. Like I say, it's just working out really nice, and I'm happy that I've gotten this far. I did make a video yesterday. As you probably know that by now. So, you know, I just really, it was going to be this basically, and I just figure once a week is enough for that. And I didn't really have anything else to say as far as what I was doing. The only other thing I can think of is Cletus and cars. I think that's off. For one thing, I didn't get the money that I was supposed to get. Haven't not heard from my niece, and so I don't know what's up with that. But I know at the time she did call, she couldn't find her checks, so I don't know if she still hasn't found them or what. Not a big deal, one way or the other. I'm not worried about it, but that was one of the things I was going to do. Now, I am thinking about the pay-per-view. I think it's $15 for that. And I think I may do that instead. I haven't talked to my son, and my son-in-law said he couldn't go. He had to work. So like I said, my son was going to go, but he's waiting on me to see what I'm doing. And like I said, I need to call him and let him know I think I've decided not to go. He said there was some COVID things going on up there as far as you had to have a paper saying that you were COVID free or whatever. And I mean, I've got my little old thing when I was vaccinated, but that's been a long time ago. I didn't get the booster shots or anything like that. So, but like I say, it's what it is, and like I said, I just soon not even mess with it. To tell you the truth, I had no desire really to see the burnouts. I'm not a big fan of burnout stuff. To me, it's wasteful, and I'm not a wasteful person. I don't like waste, and I don't care what it is. It's just stupid to me, and that's just my opinion. I know there's some guys that like the burnouts and think that's really cool and stuff, but I'm not one of them. So, my realest biggest thing was I want to see the Indy 800 or whatever it was. I want to see all the guys participate in that and things, and that was going to be my fun. So, and I thought about it. You can sit there in the grandstand or whatever and watch, but I think really probably you better, just like any other sporting event, you get a better view from the TV. I mean, so the video would probably be better. So I thought, why pay? Basically $60 just for me for 2 days. And, I mean, I had the money to do it right now, but I'm just not going to, I don't feel like wasting it. And if I had extra money, it'd be a little bit different, but I don't. So, like I said, I'd rather do other things that's more interesting to me here than do that. I mean, the only thing I was, both my son-in-law and my son both said, well, we could go to this race or that race. And it really wasn't nothing about the race or that. It was about seeing, going to an event, from a YouTuber like Cletus and stuff like that, and you see in Vice Grip Garage and seeing people that I watch every day. It's kind of neat, I think, to do that, and it was close enough where we could do that. So, not a big deal though. Like I said, it will be. We get, like I say, I'll probably get the pay-per-view. I need to call my son today and tell him the news so he don't have to worry about that anymore. But he didn't really want to go to both events. He really didn't. I could tell, the way he was talking. So, like I said, we'll get a hold of him and let him know, and so that's the way that's gonna happen, I guess. If I ever do get that money, I will let you know. But for right now, I don't have it. So. Like I say, I'm going to go ahead and work on this, and I do much better if I don't sit there and video every little thing I do, and I think it's the best way to do it. It's just like I'm doing it, just do as much as I can, and then come back with an update. So that's what I've been doing. So you guys, stay tuned for more. Probably have a little bit more before I post this on probably Tuesday. I'm not in no hurry to do it. So, all right, we'll see you in a little bit. A good Sunday morning to you all, YouTube. It is 10:22 now in the AM. At the bench once more. You can see in front of you, I believe. Let me get it a little bit better centered there. You can see a little bit better. The power supply I've been working on. It is basically complete. When I say basically complete, I mean I've got a few odds and ends to sort out, but other than that, it should be functional. I do have the power cord attached to it. This is that, I've been saving this for a special project because of the thickness of the wire. Is the 14 gauge wire on this, and I figured that would be pretty well good for this power supply. And it is plugged into the Variac over there. I'm going to power this up on the Variac. To be safe, I'm going to watch the current, make sure there's no shorts or anything like that. You never can tell, new wiring, things like that. And I'm going to switch it on so that it will be on, and no sense in bringing it up with the switch off. I don't think, but you never can tell. So let me do that real quick, and I'm going to turn the Variac on. Got some stuff in the way, can't really see my meter. I got, okay, good deal on that. Let's go ahead and sort of bring this up a little bit and see what happens. Its amperage is coming up a little bit, not much. Everything seems to be normal. We're going to say normal anyway. And at some point we're going to see this illuminate on the dial, or there it goes right there. I'm at 69, 70 volts right there. You can see it does operate there at that voltage, and that's good. Next thing I want to do, I just wanted to do that real quick and make sure that everything was good. This is down all the way, and my camera is flashing my battery indicator. So let me change out the battery, and at the same time I'm going to find some leads for these two here so we can hook it up to the voltmeter. And what I have to do is basically set this for 0. I think it's pretty darn close now. But we need to actually put a voltmeter on here and make sure it's zeroed out. So let me do that real quick and we'll be back. Good Sunday afternoon to you all, YouTube. It is 1:50 now in the PM. I don't remember where I left off, but I think I showed you this all together, and you can see it's not together anymore. Had a little problem. We powered it up, and this LED, which you see here, stayed on all the time. That's the constant current indicator, I guess. And I think it's supposed to light up basically when you go under current with something that's under load. I was using this light here, test light, to do it, and every time we would go under load, it's supposed to come on, but it was staying on all the time. But yet I could tell a difference in it. The LED would get brighter when you go under that point where it's limiting the current to the load. So it does work, but for some reason it's not working correctly. And I've got this all like this so I can switch it around. If we thought maybe it was hooked up backwards at first. Turns out that's probably not the case. It's just a matter of it is working, like I said. As soon as you go below the current necessary to give the whatever is under load the full current, it does get brighter, so that means it's working. It should not come on at all though, basically until that point. So Bob suggested I take this transistor here, or not take it out, but look at it a little closer underneath, and that's what I'm going to do. And I don't know how well you even seen that, but there is a transistor right there. And it's, I forget which number it is, but it's a looks like 2016 or 2015, I can't tell. But anyway, that's what I'm going to do. And we did this once. I took it out and I basically just unsoldered it from the board and then soldered it in backwards. And we tried again. Then I couldn't get any voltage at all coming out. And come to find out it was this, I guess, a bad connection somewhere on this wire here for the pot that controls the voltage. And once I took it out and plugged it back in, it worked fine. So so much for that. But all this seems to be working just fine, other than that problem. And I asked Bob about it. He said, well, you know, if you're not going to use it for that function, or even if you do, if you can just, you know, see when it gets brighter, you know, that should work fine if you don't want to mess with it. But I'm going to go ahead and check, because I'm kind of like Bob in that respect. I like things to work right. And so I'm going to take and look closer at that, closer at the transistor. And I think Bob named a couple of other resistors to check as well. but that's what I'm going to do. And I want this, before I button this back up again, I want it completely working as it should work. And if it can be working that way, if not, I guess I'll go with what I got. But that's the gist of it. And like I say, I'm going to take that board out and have a look at it really good. If I find a problem with it, then I can go ahead and put this. I know how this diode goes back in now, obviously, because it was incorrectly at the beginning. But I'm going to have to add some more wire to the diode itself. Obviously, that's not enough wire to get over where it needs to go. So I know red and black's not a good indicator of what it is, but in this case, the black is the cathode and the red is the anode. So that's the way it should be wired up there. As you can see, it is wired that way on the board. That's what I did. I just cut it, and so that's the way I had it tested. So, like I say, that's that. Going to do that, and I'll get back with you and see what we can find out. So, stay tuned. I am back with you once more. It is 2:36 now in the PM. You can see the power supply is working. There's the light lit up over here on this side. You can see. You can also, if we turn this around a little bit, you can see that light there. You're gonna watch that while I watch how the dimness or the brightness goes when I turn it down. As soon as I hit that space where, there you see it got brighter, and so there goes dimmer, dimmer, brighter, dimmer. So that's the point where you can watch the amp meter too fall. But it needs 280 milliamps is what it needs. And like I say, as soon as it gets to that point where it doesn't provide that anymore, then it gets brighter. So that part of it's working. So, I did check the transistor as I said I was going to. There was no problems with it. It did measure the same, not the same, but very close. I think it was 1.7 one junction, and the other junction measured 0.7. So that's not real good. Usually a transistor like that'll test over the limit one way and then give you the forward voltage on the other way. And now it's possible, because I was measuring it in circuit, so it's possible that it was something in the circuit was causing that problem. And it really can't, like I say, it's working. Obviously, you can see it gets brighter and dimmer. So that part is working. And I think we're going to go with that, because Bob said it really wouldn't matter any, as far as the power supply was concerned. And like I said, it seems to be working well. And that's really the only thing I care about. I'm not concerned about the constant current thing, because I generally, when I power something, I want it to have as much amperage as it needs, because that's the way circuits work. They will draw what they need. They don't. I understand the concept of limiting the current for certain devices if there's something shorter or something like that. I understand that, but like I said, under most circumstances, that feature probably will never be used by me anyway. So I think what I'm going to do is button this all back up. And I've got my marks cut in the, my marks marked in the case top and the back for the cord to go through. And I want to get that done. I did get that UL knot tied in that cord. And so that's good. And so that's as far as we're going to go with that. Like I say, let me get it back together, and I'll bring you back and show you what it looks like. Alright, well that's what it sounds like on battery. And now I will hook up the power supply, adjusted to 9 volts. Get it up to 9 volts. Now this has another problem. I don't know. Sometimes you turn it on, you don't get any voltage measurement out of it, or any. Basically, it just doesn't work. And then you can turn it on, or turn it back off, and turn it on again, and it's working. So that's kind of weird, don't you think? 9 volts, even. So let's turn this on now again. Again, I didn't tune it any. I can tune it a little bit and see if that helps, but I don't think it will. You can hear there. That's the noise I'm talking about right there. So that's obviously from the power supply. It's not even registering on the milliamps, so there you go. That's a look at that, and that's one of the things I'm not happy with. Good Tuesday morning to you all, YouTube. It is 10:54 now in the AM at the bench once more. I just made the little video with the radio. Bob wanted to hear what the distortion sounded like, and I made that for him, and I'll pop that in here as well. My final thoughts on this as of right now, and I say as of right now because I don't know. I think maybe there is a problem with it. I've already discussed the fact that doesn't come on properly every time you turn it on. The voltage won't go up or down or whatever. Doesn't work basically. And then you turn it off and turn it back on. It does work. So there's a problem there. We know that. There's a problem with the LED being lit constantly. Even though I can tell the difference, when it reaches its, when the current gets too low for the device under test, it will light up brighter, and I can see that. That's probably okay as far as I'm concerned, but now we're of the opinion that perhaps the distortion that you heard in the previous clip is because of the same problem that we're experiencing with this. Which would make sense. Also, there was no display at all on the amperage. I don't expect it to be a high amperage, but at the same time, you would think you would get something on the display. Even if it was only 10 milliamps, you should have a 0.01 displayed, and there was nothing there, basically. So, and I'm sure that little transistor radio draws more than 10 milliamps, so... Anywho, that's that. Like I said, there's several things that are just not quite right with it. Very, very happy with the way the case came out. Very pleased with that. I was concerned it might not work out as well as I hope, but I think it looks and works out really good. It's nice and solid. It's not going to be a problem as far as I don't think any heat problems or anything like that. I haven't yet to check the fan to make sure it works. I don't know exactly. Bob was mentioning how to get it the heatsink hot fast, and I think it was a low current or low voltage higher current situation that gives it the heat. So I'm gonna have to figure that out and then get that tested, make sure that's fans working, switching on like it's supposed to, and get that done. So, but anyway, I'm like I said, I'm pleased with the way it turned out as far as the case is concerned. Obviously, still have a few bugs to work out as far as the power supply is concerned, but again, it is workable or usable, I should say. As long as you're not working on a radio and you have to not listen to the RFI that it produces. Bob sent me short clip of his working, you know, basically the same demonstration I did with the battery and with the power supply, and his doesn't. You don't hear that RFI with his. So it's obviously a problem with this, and we know it's got a problem because of the things I've already mentioned. So, alright, I'm not going to belabor this. Obviously, I'm a little late in making my video for today. I don't know if this will be posted today or tomorrow. It's no big deal one way or the other. I didn't post one Friday. I've just been really busy with BDST stuff and well, just personal stuff that needs to be done and things like that. And so that's that. Not going to say too much more, and wish you guys a happy day. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see ya.